If you are a ClickUp user and you are not using ClickUp dashboards, what are we waiting on? In this short video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to create your very own CEO or biz management dashboard in ClickUp. In case we haven't met, I'm Ashley Tyndall, founder of Solution Integrators and your favorite systems geek. It is my job to help solopreneurs and agency owners create simple yet supportive systems through done for you custom strategy and implementation. By the end of this video, I fully expect that you have a ClickUp dashboard set up and ready to use by the end of the day. So we're going to get started by going to the dashboards page within ClickUp, and we're going to select new dashboard. I recommend starting from scratch to kind of create something of your own. Okay. Now, a couple of the cards that I like to use would be a calculation to show how many of our tasks are due today. Okay. So number of tasks due, or actually let's do this week. I'm going to select the location. So I care about these two workspaces. We're going to do count, and then I'm going to add a filter because I only want to see everything that's still open. And I want to see due date of this week. Okay. If you wanted to only view your tasks, or if this is a dashboard that you're sharing with other people, I would recommend like a me mode feature. So we can add assignee is me mode. I'm going to click apply, and I'm going to add the card. Okay. So these are the tasks that are due this week. I'm going to duplicate this because I kind of like to see the tasks that we've closed, right? Task closed today. And so same thing, I care about these two workspaces, and then I'm going to do date close is today. And then I'm going to remove the me mode feature because I actually want to see everything. So date close, it is today. I'm going to click apply. We want to show close. Okay, cool. If I click data, it'll actually, so when you click on the number, it can actually show you the tasks, right? I don't need to see the status because it's closed. But for tasks to do this week, maybe for data instead of, I don't really care to see the status, but I do like to see the latest comment. Okay. So I'm just going to add that and cool. Okay. Now, if you have not watched my other video around, a ClickUp structure made simple, I firmly believe that a task should only be added to ClickUp if it has a clear and actionable due date. Okay. If it's hey, I want to update my website copy, but I don't have a clear plan of when I'm going to do that thing, it's an idea. Okay. But to keep track of those ideas, let's use a notes card. Okay. I'm going to make it here, and we can just leave it called notes. And I'm just going to add a banner for, let's say, money making ideas, right? Can do this one. And then from here, let's say I want to make another banner of things to consider. Okay, well, let's do the light bulb. Okay. And now if I were to, let's say I had a, update website copy, I can highlight this and then make it a task and select where it goes, right? So at that point, it's turned into a task. Okay. Another way that I like to use this notes widget or notes card, I'm going to add another one, note, and let's call this one quick link. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And so these are, common things that I will use or access outside of ClickUp. So maybe if there is, I want to create a button to website, right? And I can link this to the actual, if I use the hello.website.com or whatever that URL is, it'll take me directly to my homepage, right? Or maybe I want a button to my project hub, whatever that is, right? Here. Maybe I want to link out to my I don't know, my support request form out of Airtable. Request. Okay, so consider these just quick links to things that you access on a regular basis or things that you need to know. Again, this can be used either for you only as the business owner or someone, across the team. So these are things that you want everybody to access easily. Okay. Now I'm going to add cards. At the time of this video, ClickUp has rolled out a couple new features with cards, or they used to be called widgets, like bookmarks, and then they've pre-created task list views for you, which I think is really helpful. So let's do the task due soon. Okay. You can select the workspaces that you care about. Here, we want to group it by due date. And then this is filtered to is due today or is due in the next 14 days. I don't really look at tasks that far out, but so I'm just going to change it to 7 for me, right? If I wanted to. Or JK, maybe it's not going to let me change it. But I'm going to add the card. It will be visible here. And then you can change just kind of the layout or structure of this. So this is grouped by due date right now. Maybe you want to group this by assignee or by status, if you care to see it that way, right? How many are in a to-do status? How many are, this active status? Maybe I want to see everything that's assigned to me. Again, for me, one thing that's really helpful is I don't use priority, but I like to see the latest comment so that I can see kind of what was the last date on this. I can easily click into, add another comment if I wanted to. But these are, let's do task due soon. And I'm actually going to do admin task due soon. And I'm going to change this to only show me the location of my HQ. So I don't want to see any of my client tasks here. Okay. Then I'm going to duplicate this and see the client tasks separate. So for me, the way my brain works, I need to be able to see admin stuff separate from client tasks because that's just kind of how I work, right? Like I have set days where I do client work and then other times that I'm doing admin work, right? But everything else is going to stay the same. I'm just going to change the location of this information here. Okay. So I got those two here. What else? Couple other cards. You could use the overdue tasks view if you wanted to. If you report time in ClickUp, you could use the time tracking one to show, hey, here's a summary of all time reported for the month or the quarter or whatever. If you wanted to be able to see like a workload view of how many tasks are assigned per person, per assignee, I like to see this like battery like view, but let's just look at that. Yep. We'll add card. It'll drop it at the bottom. But then I can see across all the tasks, I have 134 that are assigned to me and that are still open, right? Maybe I just want to add a due date is this week. And then I can add that for these widgets. So things like this battery view as well as the number, you can actually click on it and then it show you the data as well. So that's always helpful. It's not just a random graph and you can't see the data that's inside of it. Other things that might be common, again, charts of the data. If you wanted to see like, average time to close, you can add those. If you are using sprints from like a true, like agile method, you can view those. What else is useful? Tag. I don't know how many people are actively using tags. Well, priorities. And then these are just additional views that you would. So if you just use task lists, that will allow you to create like a true custom view of information, right? So maybe for HQ, I'm going to add just some random filter. So maybe I wanted to see everything that is in a active status of, I have a bunch of templates in here. So ignore these statuses. Don't recommend. Let's just do, everything that's in a to-do status, everything that has a tag of, I don't know, onboarding, right? Open onboarding tasks, right? That's how you would use a task list to create a custom view of tasks that meet that criteria, right? I don't have anything that meets that criteria, but that's a good example of how you would use the task list card versus, one of these that are preset or predetermined for you, right? So it looks like ClickUp keeps rolling those out, but you could, kind of play with it. It shows things that have been recently created. Again, I don't know if that's helpful for you, but maybe if you have, let's say, like a OBM or somebody that's kind of managing all of your client projects for you and you want to be able to make sure things are being assigned, right? You could have a task list of all unassigned tasks, or you could use this new content to see, hey, what are all tasks that are being created? Maybe you're using Zapier to have these tasks created for you, right? That's a good way to see it. I like the activity view, especially at like a higher level. Again, if you have someone kind of managing the entire workspace, or you as CEO, and maybe you have a bunch of different subcontractors, maybe I want to see just in my client management space. Let me see all the activity, like who's been doing what, right? It's kind of a running activity view of the different things that have happened, right? Montana changed this from to do to complete 32 minutes ago, right? So just being able to see that, I can click into the task if I wanted to, but this just allows me to see what's happening in my workspace, right? If you have multiple people, get multiple subcontractors, you can kind of get a running view of all the things that are happening in your workspace, okay? You can then share this with someone. You can make this just your dashboard, and then you can turn off edit mode so that you are just viewing this. You're not making changes to the card. With the notes, you can still type things in here. And from here, what I usually actually do to make myself use this dashboard is I make my dashboard my Chrome homepage, right? So it will generate, the dashboard will generate a unique URL. I go into my Chrome settings and I make that my dashboard. And that's how every time I open Chrome, that's where I start. So again, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out my ClickUp Made Simple getting started video. Also, download my freebie inside of a simple ClickUp setup, right? I have a ideal structured framework no matter where you are in getting started with ClickUp, who you are, what you do, how you do it. I'm going to recommend the foundation of ClickUp be set up this way. So make sure you access that freebie. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'm sure I'll see you guys soon. Happy automating.